Good morning, social media. This is CJ3026, and today's date is 1/9/2016. Yes, we did cross over into a new year. This is Happy New Year for me. Hope it is for all you other social media activists out there and silver stackers. I'd like to give my viewpoints of what I think the economy will be like should the dollar get devalued, or the value of the dollar goes to nothing. Anyway, first of all, will the dollar be worthless? If it were, what would you do? Would you flee your home? Some economists say flee your home. Some preppers say flee your home. And when I say preppers, I mean preppers are individuals who would like to prep just in case if there's an economic downturn. They want to have plenty of food, water, guns, ammo, gold, silver, and so forth. Some preppers say flee your home. If you flee your home, where would you go? How far would you get? Okay, you'd have to load up your car full of gold, all your gold, silver, precious metals, let's say, food, water, guns, ammo, and gas. Yes, gas, because the gas stations would be out of service. You know, their pumps would be shut down. I hear their pumps work on electricity. So how far would you get, and where would you go? You know, you'd hit the streets, you'd run into total chaos, rioting, fires burning, no emergency services out there, and you'd probably run into a very major traffic jam of other people trying to flee the city just as well. They might not necessarily be preppers, they might not necessarily be silver stackers, but they feel like they can find refuge other than the cities that they're in, especially if you have 1 million people or more, or maybe a little less people at the same time trying to leave out of the city. Where would they go? So the thing is, that's the question. Anyway, would you stay in your home, which would probably be a better idea if it was an economic downturn and we did go into like another depression. It would be probably better just to stay put, you know, and wait it out and see what would happen. I mean, if you stayed in your home, though, would you have water? That's another thing, because if there's no water services, you need clean drinking water. The body can only go up to 3 days without water. The third day, you're asking for it. The body needs water, you know, and clean water. And also, how would you flush your toilet? Okay, if there was death, rioting, burning, and no emergency services, you know, I mean, exactly what would you do? You know, so that's something to think about. People, you need to be cautious, use your own consciousness as to what would probably happen. You know, economists say, not political economists. I think there's two type of economists. One type I call political economists. They're the ones that tell you job market is on the up and up, unemployment is down, housing prices are going up. You know, if Fed's going to add another interest rate to help you guys out a little better, just vote for me and I'll see to it that all that remains in place and continues to improve. Then there's also social economists, if you may. That's what I call social economists. Mike Maloney, Robert Kiyosaki, Gerald Celente. There's a lot of merit to what they say, and also they can be wrong too, and I'll explain that just the same. Now, they could be wrong too as far as what would happen. And like I say, we all need to use our own consciousness just the same, because actually, keeping it real, what would you do if there was an economic downturn? How far would you get? You know, would there be an economic reset? I think there would. I think we will go back under a precious metal standard. You know, there will still be goods and services out there, but those goods and services will eventually have to kill that CB radio. It doesn't sound off until I start doing something. I swear it can stay quiet and it'll start talking and it'll almost scare you. But anyway, goods and services will still be out there, but I think they will be devalued just like the dollar would. So say for instance, if you make $10 an hour now, your wages you'd probably have to accept a job that is paying you $3.50 an hour. You know, so rather than that job closing its doors and businesses going out of business, the government can only do so much to help businesses. They're going to print more money or whatever, try to help these businesses out, which would in turn help themselves and so forth. But they'll just have to let it go. And I think that if America's going to recover, we'd have to go back to a precious metal standard, and everything would get devalued. We'd be making wages that we made in the 70s. We'd be making wages that we made in the 60s. But per capita, we would still be able to afford our goods and services. Say, for instance, you'll be able to pay all your living expenses with $150, you know. But at the same time, all you'd make in a whole month, probably all you would bring home in a whole month might be $550, you know. So I think everything will get devalued. I think world leaders will get together, and they will not let America fail. Because if America fails, then their economy will fail just the same, So I think they will get together and come up with something, whether it be a whole worldwide currency or something. I think everything will get devalued, including our wages. The dollar will still be around, I'd say, to be quite honest with you. Okay. Will governments try to manipulate our gold and silver? Yes, I do think there was a time when people were able to carry their gold to the bank, and in lieu of that gold, receive cash. I think those days will come back, and even with silver, we'll be able to take our silver to banks, coin shops, gold, jewelry shops that deal with gold and silver, pawn shops that deal with gold and silver. I think there'll be gold and silver shops spawning everywhere. Should there be a devaluation of the dollar, I don't think the dollar will go extinct. But I think banks will probably try to manipulate us at first. They'll probably say, "Oh well, we can only give you for that ounce of silver you got, we'll give you like $5, maybe $2.50." Until they just totally lose it, and they can't compete with the global economy or the foreign trade market, which a lot of people will probably be dealing with foreigners. They'd have to recapture some of that revenue some way, so they'll probably just give in and say, "Oh, okay, 5,000. What if silver went up to $5,000 an ounce?" Man, I mean, if it went up to $5,000 an ounce, this is where fractional rounds would come in. What if banks aren't willing to give you $5,000 right off the bat? So you'd be able to take a dime size or a tenth of an ounce and get $500 for that 1/10 ounce round spot price. If that's the case, so if that was the case, that's where fractional rounds would come in. That's why I kind of decided to lean a little bit more toward getting some fractional rounds, at least 20 of each, dime size, quarter size, whatever. Besides, if the money was extinct, what would we trade our silver for? Why are we stacking silver? What are we going to trade it for? More silver? Can we carry it to the grocery stores if the grocery stores are still around? Because those grocery store personnel would have to be paid something. They'd have to be paid some kind of currency, right? They can't be paid silver because everybody's not stacking silver or gold. So we carry our silver to a bank, coin shops, turn it over in lieu of cash. But I think silver and gold will go through the roof. That would be some of the single most expensive item in this economy is silver and perhaps gold. If silver hadn't quite surpassed gold yet, it would be up there. Okay. Now the advantage of fractional rounds, I say, would probably be to break it down from an ounce to tenths or quarters or whatever, and that would help maintain a good a standard of living, way above normal standard of living, especially if everything is devalued and even our wages. I think silver would be like a new form of investment, I'd say, when that time comes. And also keep your rounds. I mean, if you get rounds that have name brands on them, they would be easier to trade at a bank or a coin shop rather than rounds that have been poured in a mold or something like that, like they've been hand poured and not really stamped out by a press or something like that. They might be a little harder to trade. You'd have to hold on to those gold bars or whatever that don't have any names on them or whatever. It look like they're amateurly poured into a mold. You'd have to hang on to those and maybe wait for banks or coin shops to determine whether those are real silver or not, because there would be a lot of fraud out there. I do believe that. And there'll be a lot of scammers and fakers out there. And also, there just as well as a lot of coin shops and precious metal shops spawning everywhere at the same time. Banks will eventually trade numismatics. Like I paid for this here African coin here. That's a denominational coin of 1,000 francs. I paid $48. So actually, if the spot price of this is $14.50, you can guess how much premium I paid on that. So that's semi-numismatic. I think eventually they'll have semi-numismatic specialists or appraisers in banks, coin shops to take our numismatics. So I think, numismatics are a good investment, but for starters, bullion. Keep it real, keep it plain and easy. Anyway, like I say, coin and precious metal shops will be emerging everywhere. Watch out for the bank manipulations if that were to take place too, because they're manipulating us already. They're giving us like really ridiculous interest rates. You know, we can care less about our interest rates, but we all have bank accounts. But yet they'll take our money and, you know, and lend it out for very profitable and lucrative interest rates, lend it back to us also, you know, and not including the late fees that can compound. Yeah, they're really, you know, getting good. But anyway, saving money would be a good thing still, because what we're getting paid per hour right now, especially if we are debt free saved money will be good, just almost as good as saving gold or silver. Because if everything gets devalued back to, let's say, you making $3.50 an hour, but yet you was able to be debt free and save thousands of dollars, you'd probably be even that much more ahead of the rest of the competition out there, or the rest of the working class public out there. You know, so getting debt free is the first value of almost anything. Getting debt free is the first value. And then still save cash. Don't blow all your money on gold and silver and just throw away all your cash because you think it's going to be worthless. So use your own consciousness on that. That's what I think. Saving cash would be a good thing. So you know, if you make $500 a whole month and you have thousands and thousands of dollars saved when you once made $20 an hour, but you were debt free, you would be golden. You in turn would be golden. So yeah, please do save plenty of cash and get debt free first. You know, so but anyway, transfer your money from, let's say, if the Dow, the Nasdaq, and S&P 500, if those begin to get devalued and you have tons of money in there, your money will go down just as well to nothing as being invested in those particular forms of stock. But if a safer investment would be to transfer your money out of those gambling type of stocks over into a safer investment, which would be a savings account, checking account, money market account, and so forth, that doesn't yield much interest rate, but yet will have just a basic standard of just being there when you need it. You know, so for better yet, a safe. If you have a safe in your house, that would be a good means of saving your money. Or maybe a safety deposit box, or maybe take your safe and put it inside of a safety deposit box inside of a bank. You know, a storage unit, you know, a storage facility would be a good place to keep your gold, silver, and your cash, and not in your house. If the times get hard and people are out looking for houses to rob, it might be your friends, family members, or people you might have known, or maybe a total stranger that might make a business out of robbing houses looking for gold, silver, and cash. You know, so safety, storage units are a good place to put your money in just as well. Okay, physical gold or silver would probably be the way to go. For you to save that money at the current value or the rates that money is worth today, then if everything gets devalued, it will be worth more in the future. Okay, debt-free save cash, I can't stress that enough. Okay, silver stackers or people who save cash will experience the greater wealth transfer in the event of a dollar devaluation. Silver traded for money will more or less buy more. Okay, when should you sell your gold though? I mean, if you have gold, when should you sell it? Bam! I made a little chart here, and of course I can't focus my camera. I don't know how to make it focus. I use an old Canon ELPH, like I say. And let's say silver valued is going up where gold value is going down. But if they meet in the middle, jump off the gold elevator onto the silver elevator. Basically trade your gold for silver, cash to buy more silver or whatever. This is the same way people trade in the stock market, the ones who are stock conscious, who really watch the stock market. You know, but anyway, that's when they sell you gold or silver. Social media economists, they could be wrong, but then again, a lot of what they say have merit too, you know. But use your own consciousness, people. Get debt free, save money, and buy silver. This is CJ3026 back out. We'll see you on the next one.